welcome to the Section 325 podcast.
The second half.
Well, here we are, man. We had some games.
Some upsets.
Some wild finishes.
I mean, you can't. It's great that we finished the game, week off with Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Who?
How do you think Saquon Barkley's feeling today?
Dude, he's not feeling very well.
He still has not won a game in Philadelphia.
He took the blame pretty hard. He was actually supposed to be on Good Morning Football this morning, but he didn't decline. I guess the product that he was going to air or promote on air, the company, they decided wasn't a good time to have that product out with us, Saquon, after a loss. So yeah, he just took it pretty hard, I think.
Catch the ball. He had the sticky gloves on. Now, his quarterback could have helped him out there. He did rip it to him pretty good.
What could have really helped him out is that they just ran the ball. I think it was just a bad decision on throwing a ball. I mean, it was a great play if it
catches
it's a first down, game over. Yeah, it's great. But honestly, like the way that they've been running the ball with Barkley in the backfield, just pounded in. Even if they got 1 or 2 yards, they would just do the QB sneak, push.
You know who's feeling good though right now?
Geno Smith,
baby, and the Seahawks
are 2-0,
leading the division.
Raise your hand if you thought after week 2 that the Seattle Seahawks were going to be leading their division.
No, I thought we'd be 2-0. I thought we'd be tied. But
yeah, you had a good chance of being 2-0.
How the 49ers lost to the Vikings and Darnold, I'll never know.
He's running up to the MVP race right now.
They need to hurry up. Carolina needs to hurry up and trade Bryce.
Yeah,
and get him to another team where he can succeed. Because look at Darnold and look at Baker Mayfield. Both those guys were on the team at the same time. They let him go, and they're lighting it up. And Bryce Young, I mean,
speaking about Carolina, I don't know what they're doing over there because they've given up all these picks to get these guys. They get rid of DJ Moore. They get rid of Baker, Sam Darnold, CMC. Like they have all this talent or had it, and they can't get it back in return somehow, or they're just digging themselves in a hole.
Yeah, and the head coach there, he used to be the Seattle's quarterback coach. So he's been with guys like Russell Wilson and Smith and by the way, his first name is Eugene. I don't know if many people know that.
We have mentioned it. Yeah. So our 14 viewers.
I don't know who else he's coached, but we've had some other backups and other players, and for him to go in and only have the patience for a game, and I don't know when he got benched in that game.
Yeah.
I think he knows that Bryce isn't the guy, because how do you look at it? You're a head coach, you're new, you're young. This guy's an upcoming, coach in the league. And you have to win. Your job's to win, or you're going to be on the streets.
I mean, Andy Dalton will be taking the reins now. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe that might have a little spark. A veteran quarterback who's been there before and winning and losing situations. I mean, he's taken the Bengals to plenty of playoffs back in the day. So, yeah, I mean, maybe this is the time. I mean, Young, he's a great athlete. I think also, too, he's a little bit smaller than your typical quarterback. And his offensive line, they just haven't been giving him the chance. You look at all the plays that Carolina has been done, it's him scrambling for his life half the time.
Well, in college, he had the biggest offensive line in Alabama, so he never had any trouble.
Yeah, because he was great in college because of that. So,
but he is undersized, and is it a disservice to be playing these guys? Tom Brady was talking about it, is that we've dumbed down the playbooks to get these guys in to play right now. And he goes, no, they should be sitting and learning.
They should. Yeah, Tom Brady did say that. Because, I mean, look at Tom Brady. He wasn't starting right away.
Bledsoe.
Yeah, he was behind Bledsoe. But he just happened to get an opportunity sooner than they expected.
The injury, but basically he was knocked out and was internal bleeding or whatever he had going on with Drew Bledsoe. But look at the Packers. Look how they're doing it. They were talking about this morning on NFL Today or whatever, and the only young quarterback that was drafted this year that's not waking up this morning as a struggling quarterback is Penix Jr.
Yeah.
because he's behind Cousins.
Yeah.
And he's going to sit there and he's going to learn.
Yep.
And they were taking the Packers' view on it. And look at it's working
Well,
for the
and
Packers.
even Drake May in New England,
Yeah, they're doing the
he's
same thing.
doing the same thing. I mean, yeah, with Bo Nix's situation too, like he could have been doing the same thing, sitting behind Stidham or Wilson, Zach Wilson. But I don't know. At that point, like you kind of have to look at what you have in your quarterback room, and if that is the best option, then I mean, sure, so be it. I mean, there are quarterbacks that do struggle at the beginning of their career like this, um, and then they just kind of learn as they go. And Carolina, I think they're just far from it.
So what is CJ Stroud doing? Because when he
They
got
have talent.
drafted,
They have talent around him.
well, okay, but they almost people were hard on him and saying, "Oh, he shouldn't be that high because he didn't test well at the combine on the testing. He was actually really poor at it, I
Mm,
guess." And they were saying, "Oh, he's dumb." But CJ Stroud is not dumb. That guy, he looks like a veteran out there. And I
yeah,
know Chicago had a really good game plan against him, and they held him down to 16 points
yeah.
or
I
whatever it was. But
think 19. Yeah, but
19, yeah,
still,
they got one more field goal. But CJ Stroud came in, took his team to the playoffs last year, and yeah, they do have a good coach. They do have players around them. They got more players this year, but Chicago is they've got players, and look at that guy struggling.
mm-hmm.
He can't even throw a fade down the sideline.
I mean, they only have
That
one offensive touchdown right now.
well,
Chicago.
better than just the Commanders winning games without scoring touchdowns
Yeah,
over the
and that
Giants.
over the Giants. Giants have 3 touchdowns, and they still lost that game when Commanders didn't have any.
That's a that's crazy. That is a tough
But
loss,
I
but
mean, if you're kicking 7 field goals, like you have 7 opportunities to score touchdowns.
yeah.
They're just not
Here's
finishing their
let's
drives.
talk about the team that we should be talking about that no one has been talking about or even cared to talk about. Even Tom Brady, before the game started, he said, "Listen, New Orleans had a nice first game. They scored some points, but let's see how they do against Dallas before we start talking about them, put them in the mix." Well, they didn't just beat Dallas in Dallas.
No,
They put up a 40 burger on them and stomped them.
I think I saw the stat. It's been they're the first team in a long time, if not ever, to score 40 or more points back to back to start the season
And make it look easy.
and make it. Yeah, I mean,
Kamara looks like the guy from 3 years
you
ago.
know, I passed on him during my fantasy draft. I'm like, he's getting up there in age, but no,
Yeah.
he's still
Listen,
racking up 4 touchdowns.
that grill is still sparkling, and so is his running back ability. So,
Uh,
man, he looked just as good as ever.
I know.
And gosh,
What other games?
Carr, look at
A
Carr.
car, I know.
Carr got a tune-up over the offseason.
That's why I have them in my MVP race.
Anyway, you
Carr, Donald, and Baker.
could have got rid of that fly off the set here. Sorry if you see us going like this, but anyway, let's get into it. We've got a lot to share with you. We got Wolf's top 10. We know it's
Oh man,
crazy. How did you even do it?
I don't. Okay, just so everyone know, every ranking position in the top 10 did move up. We'll go through our picks real quick here though too. But yeah, my top 10, everyone got moved.
Well, speaking of picks, it was a tough week. I don't know how I did. I know overall on all the picks, well, there's a lot of upsets, a lot of games that, it's hard to pick in this league, and it makes it more fun that everybody's got a shot, unless you're in
and
Carolina
and that's
or
what's
you
fun
play for the
about the
Giants.
beginning of the season. You just don't know. You can't look back at the team last year because they could just be a complete different team this year.
All right, so here's the picks right here. You can see them up on the board. We'll start with my pick, Seahawks. I picked the Hawks over the Patriots. Oh, let's get rid of that. And that is correct pick for me. Go Seahawks.
You know, I was wondering if they're going to pull that off. You guys went into overtime. How are we feeling though?
Um, there was a series there where we didn't move the ball. We were going backwards on some. We got some penalties, or there was a drop ball, or just stupid stuff. And then we let them go down the field and just run all over us. They got 180 yards rushing, so that doesn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but after that, they block a field goal, they steal some momentum, and then we get it into overtime, and then we win in overtime. So they did everything right. They shut them down 3 and out in overtime and went right down the field and scored.
Okay.
So I think they got out coached there for a minute, almost cost them the game, but they recovered, and I think that's what good coaching staffs do. Everybody's got talent, but the coaches have got to make the adjustments for the players.
Nope.
So you had the Niners over the Vikings, and
Yeah, I mean, again, who knows?
nobody would have picked that.
I mean, after their number one draft pick goes down, J.J. McCarthy, and I kind of almost washed the Vikings off for the year because, again, I didn't think Sam Darnold would be their answer. But when you look, Vikings just do well with whatever quarterback they have.
Well, when you
And
got a
who
receiver
knew?
like Jefferson,
Yeah,
gee
and who knew
whiz.
that Sam Darnold would beat his former team that he was a backup to?
He was.
Yeah, and then I read that,
Did he
or
get a
heard,
petty ball?
who I don't know,
Yeah. Did he
like
get a petty
Wilson did.
ball?
Wilson had got a petty ball.
Wilson got a petty ball.
Yeah, but Niners have not beat Vike in Minnesota. They have not won a game in Minnesota since 1992.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I heard that stat today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That is something. I remember those. They had some playoff battles
yeah.
back in the day. So, anyway, I had the Lions over the Bucks,
Again,
and
who knew? We
again,
talked about the Lions Den being a tough place to win.
Baker Mayfield, let him bake. You know.
Not this
Uh,
weekend. They played Denver.
yeah, they played Denver. You took the Texans over the Bears. Good
Yeah,
pick.
yeah.
That was a good pick. So
That was a good game, though.
it was good.
Yeah,
It was frustrating if you're a Bears
it
fan.
was. It was
They had
actually
multiple opportunities.
I'm not even a Bears fan, and I'm not a big fan of Caleb Williams, but it was frustrating to watch him play. Even though he
Listen,
threw like 300 yards, but then he still had a couple picks. And
he got the snot beat out. I think they hit him so hard they knocked his nail polish off. I mean, pretty crazy. Falcons at the Eagles. Well,
I mean,
who would have picked the Falcons after that start against
everyone
Pittsburgh?
in my office, they picked Falcons Eagles except for one person. He picked the Falcons, and he ended up winning our office pool.
Wow.
With the picks because of that. So,
well, I missed one. I knew I was, and I know you missed this next
yeah,
one.
I mean,
because the Saints, gosh, we talked
they went
about
marching.
Earlier. Yeah.
Saints went marching into Dallas. So,
wow, the Cowboys, they're right back to people
yeah.
off their bandwagon. Oh man, Steelers at the Broncos. I really thought the Broncos were going to win this game because
they should have. I mean, their offense has not gotten themselves together. So once they do, then that's when they can start winning games. But their defense did great. They held the Steelers just to the field goal at the second half. But I mean, you should be winning games if you're only holding your opponent to 13 points. So they can't do that very long. So their offense better get it together.
Well, I think they will.
Yeah.
Jets of the Titans.
You got
that one right. So that's bringing you a little closer to me.
A little closer, maybe.
But here we go. We got the Bills, and Bills took care of the Dolphins. Tua, do you think he needs to retire?
He's on IR right now, so he'll be able to play until week 8, I believe.
They put him on IR?
Yep, they did this morning. So that will give him more time than your typical concussion protocol. I mean, which is good, but as a football player, and when you're still young like this, football is your game, your life. So he probably doesn't want to stop. But
he said he doesn't.
Yeah, but at some point, I know. I'm
what
assuming he's married.
Telling him?
I'm assuming he's married. Does he have any kids?
Well, I mean, his coach told him as he's walking off the field, you're the starting quarterback for your family, so I would assume.
So I would assume there's some kids involved, and CTE is not something to mess around with. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, it's
so
tough. I think your life's more important than a football game, and I don't know what his contract looked like, if it was guaranteed or not,
yeah.
but
I mean, in high school, I had a couple concussions in football games, and
you do.
yeah, but I mean,
It actually
I
explains a lot,
it
folks.
does, it
Yeah.
does, yeah.
Anyway, so you had the
I had the
Colts.
Colts
Wow, I thought for sure you picked the
because
Packers.
I thought Packers without Love
Sure,
weren't gonna
I
do
picked
it.
the Colts as well in my off other picks.
Yeah,
So anyway, we tied that week.
yep.
Yeah,
So
I
you
like my
stay.
sandwich better than your sandwich. So anyway, so here's the results: 2-3, 2-3. Both have a losing record this week. I would doubt that many of you had, hardly any of you had a winning record on this week in the
Yeah,
picks. So yeah, I still have a 2-game edge over you. Feeling good about it. I have a winning record. You do not.
I do not. No.
So feels good. Feels good. But it could all turn around.
Hopefully, I get some good picks this week.
I love that it's circled and I get the green and you have the red. Like, Seahawk green, winners, and red for 49ers, losers. All right, let's keep moving along. Wolves Power Ranks. I'm excited to see
Yeah,
this. We talked about it briefly offset, but
it was a tough one. Because everything shifted. I will just say 4 teams dropped out
you
of the
know,
power rankings.
you got to look at
So
this,
4 new
right?
teams.
There's teams that popped out. They had bad games or they lost or whatever. You remember last year the Niners just lost 3 in a row for no apparent reason,
Yeah.
and then they just went on a tear and went to the Super Bowl. So a loss doesn't mean your season's
No,
over or
not at all.
whatever. But right now, if you're picking the power ranks,
Or even if you're in the power rankings right now, whatever rankings or whoever's doing the rankings,
but
it doesn't say that you are a bad team. Or I mean, there's just more opportunities for you to.
let's talk about the 49ers for just a second
Yeah.
because they have CMC who's out,
Uh
might
huh.
be going on the IR.
Yep.
Ayuk, who wasn't in training camp all year, he's probably not in game shape yet, and
Debo.
they just lost Debo to an
Yeah.
injury.
Yep. Uh, I mean, same thing looking at the Rams.
Yeah,
Let's talk about the Rams real quick because Puka is now on IR. Cup is now injured.
yeah, limped off the field.
I, you know, Seahawks is kind of looking pretty good right now,
They're
and
looking pretty good,
Cardinals.
and our running back was hurt with an oblique, so we lucky to have that victory and get out of New England on the road. It's always good to win on the road, especially when
Mhm.
you're going from one coast to the other. But all right, let's see what you got and came up with. Oh,
So yeah, so I was actually debating on Seahawks here or keeping the Eagles. I couldn't pick what bird I wanted. So I actually kept the Seahawks in because they, like you said, going from coast to coast to win a game like that is kind of tough. And Eagles, they were at home,
yeah.
and I think that's what it came down to it. And I was kind of looking to see, how their play calling was, and I don't know what's going on there. They did it last year when when they were 11-1, they kind of dropped the ball towards the end of the season, the Eagles.
They
So
did. They really did.
it almost kind of reminded me of them of that. So
But if you're the Eagles or any team, would you rather have a couple losses early in the season rather than late? Because you want to be playing your best football going into the
well,
playoffs.
you do. So
So yeah, I mean, if you're going to lose a game, I guess if you have to, early's better.
yeah, and
So Seahawks obviously moving
they
up
go up.
into
Yep. So
whoops.
Eagles are out of my
The
top
Eagles
10.
are out. Wow.
Yeah.
It's Packers.
Packers, they go up one.
Impressive to win a
It
game
was with
without your
Willis.
starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he threw some darts.
He
Where was that in Tennessee?
Well, they didn't throw much, but yeah, when he did throw, I think he was maybe
Effective.
80% of his
He was
passing,
effective.
but they kept it to the run game.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that tells you maybe they know a little more than
yeah.
maybe they know what Tennessee knows. So the Packers obviously move up. Let's go to number 8. The Buccaneers.
Yeah,
Baker
they
Mayfield and the
go up.
Bucks.
They go up.
I heard what he was saying
Or
about
they sneak in, yeah.
his wide receiver. He's like, man, it's cheating, just throwing it up to this guy because he catches it.
Evans is probably the best receiver
Evans,
in the
how many
league right
years in a
now.
row over 1,000 yards, 100 catches?
Five at least 1,000 yards over.
Dude's set, and he almost went to Tennessee and the Chiefs, or not Tennessee, Chiefs and some other team. I can't remember. Jets maybe. He thought about going, and but he chose to stay in Tampa.
Oh,
So
okay.
Bucks move up into the top 10, and
Vikings, they move up.
Vikings.
They get in the top 10.
All these teams were out of your top 10 to start the year.
No, I had Packers.
Oh, you did have the Packers.
Yeah, I did have Packers.
Okay.
They were the only ones.
All right. And they didn't slip out last week?
No, there were 10 last week.
Okay.
So
All right.
Yep.
Lions are still in it.
Yeah,
They had
did
a
drop.
tough loss. They dropped down. Obviously, they're still a good team.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it yesterday.
Well, and you look right there, just those 5 teams right there. 3 of them are coming from the NFC North.
Yeah.
I still think that they will be the king of the North there in that division. So I could not drop them lower than the Vikings or Packers.
Not yet. No
not
way.
yet. No, until they can beat each other. So
last year, the Lions, they went on the road to start the season and beat the Chiefs. That opening game on Thursday. Came home week 2. The Seahawks came in, and I was like, oh no, we're going to go into a nest, man. Those fans are going to be so excited. And Seattle went in and beat them. Didn't affect the Lions. They went all the way to the NFC Championship game. So, again, early loss at home, though, which is, Seattle just did it last year, and the Lions went off. So, we'll see what happens. This is why this league is so great. Niners.
Yeah, they dropped.
Number 5.
They still stay in the top 5, though.
They're a good team. You have a. Did you see what's their quarterback's name? Purdy.
Yeah.
He went up to the defensive coordinator of the Vikings and he goes, "Wow, great scheme, man."
Oh, really?
Great scheme. So he was confused.
Oh, wow.
So he, that's pretty
You're
cool.
gonna like these next 2.
So the Niners move down, Lions move down, Texans moving up.
They just jumped to the top 5. I just threw them in there, man. Like they.
Well, why not?
Why not? I mean, again, what they did last year with a rookie quarterback, new head coach, and so they're just keeping that season going into this. So
I realize Chicago's not going to be very good, but their defense, man, they were flying around.
They held them to 10 points, so you should be winning games if you're keeping your opponents under, 10 points.
Yeah. So Texans move up. Saints. Well,
you can't.
Why not?
Yeah.
Until they lose a game, they need to be in the top 5.
Until they start scoring 30 points. So, yeah. But yeah, when you have back-to-back 40 burgers, you can't be ignored by that.
Impressive.
So, impressive.
You think Drew Brees came in and coached up Derek Carr? What happened? I saw Derek Carr talk in the offseason. He goes, listen, we are 100% different from last year. We have this whole offseason to work together, and it is going to be impressive. He said that.
Well, and I said it last year that their defense is going to be impressive. So, I mean, last year it could have been their defense that got the turnaround, and now this year it's their offense, and now they're a full team.
Well, they're believing because Derek Carr was believing it before they even took a snap in this season. Saints move up, obviously. The Bills, the Bills they're good. The Bills are good. Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league. I wouldn't take anybody else. Oh, I'd take him over Mahomes all day.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. That's why he's the number 1 quarterback in fantasy rankings.
Yeah, and one thing I like,
he didn't have good fantasy numbers this week because they didn't throw the ball as much or any rushing touchdowns for him. But I mean, yeah, keeping what was the final score, like 38-10? I think against
it was
Miami.
It was just, I hate watching games where you're excited about the game and only one team shows up. It's the worst. When there's just Miami wasn't competing.
No, and I think well, I guess Tua's concussion came late in the third quarter, but I think after that they were done.
He threw 3 picks, 2 in the first half. So
first quarter.
Was the first quarter?
Yeah, first quarter.
So Bills moving up.
And then, of course, Chiefs, they move up. They're the king there now on number 1.
I wanted to ask you this question. Was that a pass interference?
Or it was. It was a good call.
You liked the call. I didn't like it.
I didn't like...
I thought everybody could go for the ball.
I think just the way he came up from behind him and hit his back, because, everyone was pretty much playing for the ball.
Yeah,
Like there's
you go for the ball, and in
ball,
that
but I think the way
situation,
how he got pushed or he got hit from behind, yeah, I
yeah,
think
but
it's a
he's
Paul.
entitled to go get the ball just as much as the offensive guy.
But again, it kind of goes towards the offense more than
I
the
don't like the call
defense.
at all,
But
not in that situation. And here's the thing: for 15 straight games, the Chiefs have had less penalties called on them than their opponents. 15 straight games. Uh,
yeah,
Something's going on, and they have back-to-back Super Bowls. That's not a coincidence, okay?
nope.
Anyway,
I know
I'm
we could
tired of the
debate.
Chiefs. I know you are. They're in your
Oh yeah,
division.
they're in my division. I have to face them twice a year. I'm tired of them too. So
So we're not going to talk about the Chiefs anymore. You're good. We know it. Patrick Mahomes, everybody. I'm just anxious to see. I heard news that, this whole what's her name and the tight end dating and everything is a big hoax, that it was put in because NFL was losing rankings and it brought him up, and she's going to write 3 songs out of their breakup, and he agreed to this contract, and now he's getting, I think he signed a $10 million or $100 million deal to do his podcast, something crazy. So it's like, is
that's
it true? And they're supposed to break
that's
up on the
funny.
24th of September. So stay tuned. It's
Oh,
been leaked that it's a contract between the two. It wasn't even a real relationship.
oh, okay.
So let's find out.
So
Yeah.
the next Tuesday,
Is that the 24th?
yeah, next
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Next
So
Tuesday, the
on the
sad
show,
news.
we will find out.
The sad news. All right, week 3 picks. Random picks from the bag. Ooh, I get to go first this time.
Oh, I mean, you can go anytime.
Ooh, the Chargers 2-0 under Jim Harbaugh. Exciting.
I was
Ooh.
debating on putting them in the top 10. Same with the Steelers there. But Steelers, one offensive touchdown. I'm not buying it yet. Great defense, sure, yeah.
It is in steel country,
Yeah.
but we're no Russell coming back yet.
I haven't heard anything this time.
This is
But I did hear going into the week 2 game, they were going to see how the game is going to go and see if Fields would still just carry on the starting position, even if Russell is healthy.
this is a tough pick.
So I don't know, like if there's going to be another decision made if Russell is ready to play.
Is this the Steelers' first home game? They start the season
Yeah,
2
it
games
is.
on the
It is.
road? Wow. I'm going to take the Steelers in this one. I got the Steelers over the Chargers. I like them at home. I think the crowd's going to be behind them. That defense is tremendous.
We're not doing Carolina.
No, we're not. We already know the answer to that one.
Who do they play? They play the Raiders. Yeah, I would have to go for the
Raiders
Raiders.
are going to go to
They
2-1.
hold on. So, Thurston would love this. The Raiders beating the Ravens.
Yeah,
Who Ravens is almost kind of like the Atlanta Falcons of that Super Bowl. Like they just know how to lose games when they're up. They were up 10 points with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter and at home, and they still lose it.
I saw a thing where they put all
Yeah,
the yeah,
They put
so
all their
many.
scores, so many.
Last year they were losing games in the fourth quarter,
Yeah.
so things haven't changed there. But who cares?
Okay, I didn't go through this bag. I'm not picking the Giants.
Wow, wow, you're just picking out all the losers. Let's get them out of the
I
way
mean,
now.
can I pick them?
Who are they playing?
Because I'm 2 games behind you.
Who are the Giants playing?
The Browns.
Oh, the Browns. The Browns are going to go to
Okay. Oh, here we
2-1.
go. 2 teams that we discussed with injuries.
Oh gosh. Well,
Yeah.
it couldn't come at a better time to play each other. So
Yeah. So the Niners come in the Rams. I still think Niners have a strong defense. They have a great offensive line. Whoever's running the ball. So yeah, I'm going to go with Niners. The Rams are just a little bit struggling more on the offensive side. So yeah.
okay, yeah, I would take the Niners in that one as well. All right, the Commanders coming off a score, no touchdowns, and taking a victory. The Bengals have got to be ticked off. Not only did I felt like that call should have just not been called, should have been a no call. But the Bengals shot themselves in the foot in that game. They had the fumble by Burrow, return for a touchdown, I believe,
It
and
was, yeah, scoop and
and
score.
then uh, Chase just getting angry over a no call on what he felt should have been a slide tackle or whatever they call it. And I'm like, you cost your team a first down and 15 yards. And so just stupid mistakes by the Bengals. I think they'll recover and beat the Commanders.
Huh. Chiefs go into Falcons.
The Chefs.
So, I mean,
Oh, that's
I mean, if
tough.
Falcons didn't win yesterday's game, it would have been an easy choice for me to say the Chiefs. Chiefs struggling against the Bengals at home.
Well, they didn't necessarily
They, they,
kill the Ravens either.
no. Again, they won the game by a toe. I mean, I would love for the Falcons to take that momentum going into the next week's game. You're
And
at home.
Kirk Cousins already admitted he's not 100%.
And
He's 100% in the pocket. If he's got to move, he's not quite.
But, oh, man, do I go against my heart or go what looks good on paper?
It's your
Or
pick, man.
I know.
It's your pick. I can't help you.
I know. I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs just because I'm 2 games behind on you. If I was up on you, I would pick the Falcons.
Yeah, I'd have taken the Chiefs.
And I have the Falcons winning their division.
You do. You did. And
so
who did I pick?
I want to say
Buccaneers, baby, 2-0.
So we'll take 2 here. I'm going to go with the Falcons. So you Falcons fans out there are happy.
Oh, you're going to take the Falcons.
But we're going to actually go with my actual pick, the Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
I think you picked
Chiefs.
both teams. Who are you picking?
Chiefs.
All right.
But I'll edit it for 2 versions of the show.
Oh, here we go. My game. Dolphins going into Seattle, baby. I'm taking the Seahawks all day long. Seahawks they're looking real solid, and I think solid is better than the Dolphins, who really don't have an identity right now or a quarterback.
You've gotten your team 3 times now. All right. The Lions, Arizona.
Oh gosh.
You know what?
Oh gosh.
Cardinals.
That's not good for the Lions.
No, I'm gonna go straight up with the Cardinals. As much as I like the Lions, I think Cardinals have something going there in the desert.
They do.
And they're at home. So if it was the other way around, if Lions were at home, I think they would get the win. But I think Arizona will take the win here against the Lions.
Whew, that's a tough pick.
Yeah. So
that's going to be a heck of a game right there.
Murray is looking healthy, quick as a little kid stealing your cell phone.
Yeah.
The way he holds his football. So, yeah, that's actually going to be a good game to watch. So,
yeah,
I'll keep that one on the TV.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns. He was silent in game week 1, and finally got going.
He only had 2 incompletions, Murray.
Oh, really?
And there were 2 drops by Harrison. He brought it up at the post game. He wasn't happy about it. He goes, "I saw the stats."
But he caught your touchdown passes.
Yeah,
that's what that matters.
That's what matters. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Texans coming off that Sunday night victory, going into Minnesota. Golly, the games are tough. I mean, every game.
I know this is. Nearly. I think this is the only the matchup where 2-0s are facing each other.
I'm going to go with the Vikings. They're at home. I think the Texans, they got beat up a little bit in that game Monday night. They have a short week, so I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Okay. The Bears against the Colts.
Oh, nice catch.
I think the Bears, they are struggling of trying to get it together. I do believe Caleb Williams will throw his first touchdown pass. By the way, Williams, Jalen Daniels, and Bo Nix don't have a passing touchdown yet.
Well, maybe it comes in week 3. Third time's a charm.
Yep. So Bears will score more points offensively, and I do believe they beat the Colts.
Wow. Okay.
I'll take the Bears on this one.
All right. And if you turn the Colts sideways, that thing is a C. So there we go. Chicago.
Oh, there.
Okay. We think we'll do one more?
Yeah, we'll do one more.
Okay.
We've been doing 5.
Oh, here we go. I got your Broncos.
Oh, perfect. All right,
At the
they're
Buccaneers.
at the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the big sombrero. I'll take the Buccaneers. I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah, that's all right.
I got to take the Bucks.
I mean, they've been playing great defenses, and with our way our offense is right now, we won't be able to get points on the board. So,
I mean, Baker.
I'm hoping our defense can get to Baker to help motivate the offense a little bit, just get things going. But
Yeah, I think they're good. They just they got to
they
get a
have
few victories.
they have a great
going.
young talent that can be potential, like they could be great in the league.
Right.
They just haven't gotten their name called yet.
I think they compete with 90% of the league,
Mm-hmm.
and then but they're not anywhere near the Giants or Panthers level.
No,
so,
I don't think so.
Yeah, so it's just going to be tough with the rookie quarterback. You're building towards next year.
And again, when Sean Payton came in here, it's been a rebuilding process the entire time. Yeah, last year we had a great winning stretch there for a few games. We won 6 in a row. Yeah, it was great to win those games, but again, it takes about 3 years for a team to be completely turned around, and we're just getting into year 2.
Who do you think did a better job, the Broncos trading for Russell Wilson, or the Panthers trading all those picks to get Bryce Young as the first
we
pick
didn't
in the
trade
draft?
Russell; we just got rid of him.
Well, you did trade for him originally.
From Seattle.
Yeah, because neither one's going to work out, obviously.
Yeah.
So who did a worse job?
I think Carolina did, because I think there was more picks involved, and those picks turn into potential other things for the other teams. I mean, and then look at where DJ Moore is. He's been doing great there in Chicago. Maybe a little frustrated right now with Williams, but they're gonna get on sync here in the season. And then, yeah, I mean, just look at Carolina, what they've given up: CMC, Sam Darnold, Baker. So
yeah, okay.
they just don't know how to use that talent. Okay. Oh yeah, me.
You're up.
Yep. Packers at Tennessee. I'm gonna take Packers.
Oh, geez, yeah, the coach shoot out Will Levis for another stupid play.
I mean,
and he even said, "Have you heard a coach just say stupid? He just did it last week."
Yeah, the first one where he kind of just flew it up there, tossed it up in the air for a pick 6, and then this one was just like he was falling to the ground and he just shovels it out backwards. So
you like a guy that wants to try and make a play. He's not like trying to hurt his team, trying to make a play, but you got to be smart. Take the sack, live for another day.
Yep. So I take Packers.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And that's it. That's our show for today. Anything you want to touch on as we wrap up?
In the football world, I mean, it's just the new season's still starting. Like, I'm excited to see what week 3 is all about. I haven't gone through my picks yet on what I think who would win, but I mean, just going from here, looks like we have a great slate of games. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to another Sunday football.
Yeah, out of our picks, I'm looking and I'm like, okay, that Lion Cardinal game is really sticking out to me. Falcon Chiefs,
the Texans Vikings.
Yeah, Texans Vikings game. Yeah, both 2-0.
Chargers and Steelers. I guess they're both 2-0. So I guess there's 2 teams.
49ers and Rams, both struggling.
Trying to stay alive in their division. Yeah.
Rams can't afford to go 0-3.
No,
they can't afford to go 0-3. But the Niners definitely don't want to go 1-2. That's not who they are.
Yeah, who are you surprised that who is 0-2 right now? There's 9 teams. Who are you most?
Ravens. I'm surprised with the 0-2 start by the Ravens.
Yeah.
And then 2-0, I would have to say the.
And then who are you?
Probably the Chargers, really, or the Vikings. Probably the Vikings more.
Yeah, I say
so.
I'm surprised the Vikings are 2-0. I had them scratched out for the
I
year.
mean, you could go with 3 teams: Chargers, Vikings, and Saints. I'm like, I knew the Seahawks would start 2-0, so that's not a
Yeah.
surprise to me. That was probably the 2 weakest games on there. So the rest of the way, though, you looked at the Miami game with Tua. Oh, well, now not so tough. So hopefully they get through that one. But yeah, I mean, the Saints 2-0 and the way they've done it, is shocking. The Vikings 2-0 without their rookie quarterback. I mean, they wouldn't have been 2-0 with the rookie most likely anyway, but
Yeah.
evidently they still have a great team. And then the Chargers were just kind of a question mark. Can Harbaugh turn them around? They've got used to losing.
Mm-hmm.
And when they should be winning. They had the highest paid defense in the league, and they weren't shutting anybody down.
Yeah, looking at the schedule, if I were to have this team not be 2-0, I would say the Saints for sure, because I would have looked at that Cowboy game and like, oh yeah, they're not going to win that game.
Sure.
And then same thing with the Vikings winning against the Niners. Yeah, I would say those are my 2 teams. I knew Chargers were going to turn around this year. And then, yeah, I'm shocked that the Ravens are 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
And Bengals as well. But Bengals have started.
This notoriously, the
They've been.
last several
I
years
think they
after the
won.
Super Bowl,
Yeah, I
they
think
started
in the
slow.
last 4 years or so, they've only won one week 1 or week 2 game. So they've started 0-2 a couple times already.
Rams
So
is surprising as well, but Ravens, I mean, that's a team that
yeah,
was in the
I
NFC
mean
Championship game, right?
they were a toe away from maybe winning against the Chiefs, and they were up in the fourth quarter. So against the Raiders last week.
AFC Championship game, weren't they? Didn't they play the
They
Chiefs
were,
in the
yeah,
AFC?
they were in the AFC Championship game.
Gee
So
whiz. Okay, well,
yeah,
hey, that's why the NFL, it's a game of inches, and it's the greatest sport played.
yep. And then also, I want to do a shout out to my buddy Jordan Curry. He actually has a fight coming up here at the Coeur d'Alene Casino, October 10th. It's a Thursday, whatever that Thursday is. So it could be the 9th, 10th, whatever. But yeah, next month he will be fighting in the cage.
Well,
we went to a fight of
we
his
did.
last,
We
and
did. Yeah, he
he
won.
won. So
Well, for giving shout outs,
okay,
I'd like to do a shout out to my little main man, Ezzy. He had his first soccer game on Saturday, Coach Sean here. And he scored 3 goals in his first one. His first goal was scored in less than 20 seconds as we started the game.
was everyone set yet?
They were set. We made sure that the other team had like 3 parents on the field. It was just me. And he just went down, ripped it in, and just kicked a goal. And then afterwards, he just kind of walked off like he'd done it before. But it was his first goal. I was so excited. And so
awesome.
I'm proud of you, Ezzy. I love you, buddy.
Yeah, shout out to Ezzy and shout out to Jordan Curry.
Yeah, there we go. Ezzy and Jordan Curry. All right, that's our show for today. Section 325.
We're out of here.